Hello everybody, it is Hippodippin here, and today we're going to be continuing the best of their type series, and today we're going to go ahead and do the psychic type. I know I've been recently hitting some more of the obscure types, and believe me, I do enjoy doing that, but I just wanted to break that mold a little and do something I really enjoy, and that is the psychic type. Psychic type is a very potent type. I feel like it is a type that absolutely blows opponents out of the water. It is a type that is just insane in its power and its Pokemon. And let me tell you, it shows. It really, really shows. The Psychic type is one of the few types with no really, really bad Pokemon in it, I feel like. The Psychic type, granted, does have some lackluster Pokemon, but it really doesn't have any Pokemon that are just completely unusable. And it really, really helps out in how the type is utilized. So, let's go ahead and take a gander. For the basics of the Psychic type, they are fantastic special attackers. I cannot emphasize that enough. The Psychic type is one of the best special attackers in the game, I feel like, just because of how great its Pokemon are. They usually have great base speed, and that speed is going to help them out in doing their role. And their role is just to hit as hard as possible and move on. And most have access to really, really great coverage moves. The move pools for Psychic Pokemon are insane, and that's one of their hallmarks. It really, really is. As long as they are Psychic types, they're going to be hitting hard with a variety of moves. And speaking of moves, they have great Psychic stab moves, and it's awesome. A lot of Psychic moves are support moves, and that is awesome as well. A lot of Psychic Pokemon can pull off these support moves as well as offensive ones and really benefit the whole team, which is the total goal, and it really, really helps out. Most do not require much team support. Psychic types can pretty much be slapped on a team pretty much with whatever, and it'll usually do a good job, provided the team is built correctly. But in regards to team building, you don't necessarily have to rely on other Pokemon to carry Psychic-type Pokemon. It's absolutely true. Most Psychic types are able to keep themselves going and do their jobs so effectively that they do not require much help from others. And that is awesome. That's exactly what you're looking for in a team player. And only 3 types resist their stab. Dark resists it completely, takes no damage. The Psychic type itself, and the Steel type. But generally, Psychic type Pokemon have ways to go around those. They have Shadow Ball for other Psychic types. They have Dazzling Gleam for Dark types, and they have Focus Blast for Steel types. Those are just examples, but I'm just saying they have ways to get around their weaknesses. They have awesome status and team support moves. I already went over that, but just to reiterate, they are awesome. They are fantastic at supporting not only themselves, but their team. Unfortunately, most of them have poor defenses, and now that's not true for all of them, but for a lot of them, poor defenses is, a trademark of the Psychic type. The Psychic type, especially in regards to their physical defense, is just not fantastic. They are going to be taking a lot of damage, even from neutral or even resisted moves. It's crazy. A lot of them have low HP stats too, and that doesn't help them out at all. They just can't keep going with that low physical, defense. However, some of them do have pretty decent special defense, so that really comes into play too. But don't rely on any Psychic type Pokemon to go ahead and take any, God forbid, super effective attacks. That's not going to go over well, especially if they are a physically offensive, super effective attacks. That is for sure. And to go along with that, they don't usually survive long, and it's just the way it is. Psychic types going along with that poor defense is not going to be able to survive long in the battle unless you're faster and you can one-hit KO every other Pokemon, which is very rare, and don't count on it. You are going to have to be switching it up because the opponent is going to do everything he can to pretty much counter whatever Psychic type move you're going to go ahead and have. That's just what happens when you run a Psychic type Pokemon. Their defenses are not great, and they just can't keep supporting themselves over and over and over. That being said, some Pokemon on this list are capable of doing that, but in general the Psychic type just can't keep up. So that's going to be it for the basics. Let's go ahead and move on. Number 10 on our list is going to be Azelf, and Azelf is a fairly common Pokemon, especially in UU, I've noticed, and OU. It's a very, very potent Pokemon in itself. It is an awesome lead, and that's what you'll usually see it as. A lot of people run it as a lead, and it's very viable as a lead too. However, I feel like Azelf can fill a lot of roles very, very well. It just happened to take the role of as a team lead, or a suicide lead even. Azelf functions that way pretty nicely. So let's go ahead and take a look at Azelf. It is a great offensive lead, it really is. It has great offensive stats of 125, 125, and 115, which, you know what, it can really take advantage of. 125 in both attacking stats is awesome. It can lead to some mixed sets, which is great, which is awesome, and you can definitely go ahead and take use of. And it is diverse enough to surprise. Most people run Azelf a certain way, but there are definite ways in which you can go ahead and switch that up a little. You can definitely run Azelf with, say, a mixed, lead. You could maybe run it as a mixed, late game sweeper. It all depends on what your team needs and the way that Azelf can fill that role. And Azelf is an awesome way to go ahead and fill that role. I mean, it just fits on a lot of teams pretty nicely. It's a good stealth rocker, and it's a good lead in general. It is a great move pool. It really, really does. If you go ahead and take a look at any Psychic type move pool, chances are it's pretty nice. So that's pretty cool. It is powerful in the lower tiers, namely UU. It is in UU, and it demolishes in there. It really does. You do have to watch out for Azelfs using Explosion, and that will mess you up. That will mess up your day, let me tell you. However, Azelf does need to watch out for Scarfers. Anything that's faster than it is going to be doing a lot of damage. And unfortunately, Azelfs cannot rely on their poor defenses to carry them anywhere. It won't, You are going to have to watch out for Scarfers, or priority moves like Sucker Punch, whatever. You do have to watch out for that, and that is going to be a constant threat with Azelf. So let's go ahead and take a look at his set. 252 in special attack and 252 plus in speed. That is a good combination, let me tell you. And 4 in attack or special defense. It all depends on if you want to run U-turn. That is the key to determining the EVs for the set. You are going to want to run a negative nature in defense, and Levitate is your only ability of choice. And if you want to make it a good lead, Focus S is generally what you want to run. However, if you want to make it more of a sweeper or more of a powerful Pokemon that just hits hard, Life Orb is a pretty good option, let me tell you. Life Orb is just going to boost the power of your moves over and over and over again. It's great. And for your moves, you're going to want to run Psyshock, Dazzling Gleam, Stealth Rock, or Energy Ball, or Taunt, Explosion, or U-turn. It all depends on what you want to run Azelf as. If you want to run it as a lead, I'd recommend Psyshock, Dazzling Gleam, Stealth Rock. It may be Taunt or Explosion. Doesn't matter. If you get brought down to your Focus Sash, you can go ahead and use Explosion on the next turn. Maybe if you're setting up, Stealth Rocks, that might be the case. But Taunt is a good move just to go ahead and shut down other sweepers or other walls or other defensive Pokemon that rely on their status moves. Because Azelf is pretty fast. Base 115 speed is nothing to scoff at, and Taunt is just going to shut down a lot of Pokemon. However, if you do want to keep momentum going, U-turn is a very viable option as well. U-turn will allow you to go ahead and get in the right situation at the right time, provided you can predict it correctly. And if you can predict it correctly, fantastic, and you can go ahead and move on to the right Pokemon. And U-turn's there just to go ahead and keep up momentum, and that's what you're going to be running the 4 in attack for if you so choose. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be Azelf. A lot of people run it this way, and it just happens to be the way that I want to run it. And if you were looking for a cool Azelf set, here you go. For our next Pokemon, it is going to be Reuniclus, coming in at number 9. And Reuniclus is a very unique Pokemon in regards to other Psychic types. It's very, very slow. It's very bulky too. Its defenses are great. They're really good. It's a great Trick Room user, and that's pretty much what it was built for. I truly believe Game Freak gave this Pokemon all the things it has just to be a Trick Room user. Number 1, terrible base 30 speed. It's garbage. Number 2, has high HP and high defenses and a high special attack to boot. That's what you're pretty much going to see Reuniclus using, so let's go ahead and take a look. It is a fantastic bulky Pokemon, like I said, high HP stat. It is a good Trick Room user. It is capable of taking hits and hitting hard back. And it has a base 125 special attack, which is great. It's really good. And it is a great team supporter as well. It has access to reliable recovery and recover, which is pretty nice. It is slow, however, and vulnerable when Trick Room it runs out or is used. You do have to take one turn to set up Trick Room, and that is a turn that the opponent can go ahead and use to destroy you, provided it has a way to do so. So you are going to have to watch out for that. However, Reuniclus is a very good Pokemon. It's a Pokemon I don't use often. It's a Pokemon I'm not really interested in, considering I don't usually run Trick Room. But people who do, Reuniclus is just a Pokemon for you. Let me tell you, it is a very potent Pokemon. It's a Pokemon that can take hits and then go ahead and set up Trick Room and support the whole team. Yeah, it's pretty much the way Reuniclus is meant to be run. Let's go ahead and take a look at his set. 252 in HP and 252 plus in special attack. That's what you want to run, and you're going to want to run 4 in special defense and a negative nature in speed, and you're also going to want to put 0 IVs in speed, because this set is based on Trick Room, and the slower you can get Reuniclus, the better off you're going to be. Now, Magic Guard is going to be the ability of choice, prevents you taking any damage except from attacks. So you're going to be able to soak up burns, soak up toxics, and prevent yourself from being, Thunder Waved, for example. And that's just going to help you out in general. Also, if you are going to run Life Orb, Magic Guard is going to negate any Life Orb recoil. So you're going to get that whole those attack boosts for free. No cost to you, which is fantastic. However, if you do want to run a little bit more bulk, Leftovers is probably the better option. Considering you're going to be getting HP back over time, it kind of works out nicely. Psyshock is a good move to go ahead and use. You're going to see Psyshock a lot on this video. It's just, you know what, you can run Psyshock or Psychic. I prefer Psyshock just because it can hit on the physical side, and no Pokemon is going to really be able to take Psyshock and then whatever else other moves you have. Trick Room. Pretty much the crux of the set, let me tell you. Trick Room is the epitome of what makes Reuniclus good, and that's Trick Room. Let me tell you, Trick Room helps this Pokemon and helps the whole team, provided your team is slow. And Recover is there, keep yourself healthy. Maybe you get hurt setting up Trick Room next turn when you're probably faster. You can go ahead and use Recover and get yourself back up, so that helps out a lot. Energy Ball, Shadow Ball, or Focus Blast. Take your pick, people. It all depends on what your team needs or what you want to run. Energy Ball hits, bulky water types hard. Shadow Ball hits psychic types and pretty much a lot of other things. Ghosts, maybe. And Focus Blast is there just to go and hit those dark and, steel. Pokemon that would normally resist psychic, and Pokemon that would be weak to, fighting types. Psychic could really use some fighting type moves to go ahead and help them get around those Pokemon that would normally resist, namely Steel. But yeah, that's going to wrap up Reuniclus. Let's go ahead and move on. Our next Pokemon is going to be Mew. And the reason Mew is so low on this list is because, in case you don't know, all the weird Mirage or, exotic legendary Pokemon, for lack of a better word, do have 100 base stats across the board. They have 100 base in every single stat. And while that can make for a good defensive Pokemon, it is generally terrible for an offensive Pokemon. Base 100 attack or special attack and base 100 speed is not that great. And a lot of other Pokemon have much higher than that. And so that's generally where the Mirage Pokemon fall, is kind of lower on the ladder. And that is definitely for a reason. However, like I said, for defensive stats, that is actually pretty nice. The ability to go ahead and have a base 100 defense and a base 100 special defense, and a base 100 HP works out pretty nicely. You're going to have a nice rounded way to go ahead and soak up hits. And that's what Mew does. And thanks to its ability to learn pretty much all TMs, all tutor moves, and all HMs, you're going to be, diverse enough to the point where your opponent's going to have to do a little bit of thinking to figure out what type of Mew you're running. So let's go ahead and take a look at Mew. Solid 100 across all stats, like I said. Awesome move pool. All TMs, HMs, and move tutor moves, with the exception of like some moves that would require a certain type of Pokemon, like Draco Meteor or what's the other one? Secret Sword, I believe. Like I said, it is diverse enough to be unpredictable, and it has great defensive capabilities, which is awesome. I already went over that, but you cannot cut it as an offensive Pokemon. Like I said, base 100 attack and speed, or base 100 special attack and speed, is not going to get you very far. Most can do better than that, and Mew unfortunately is not one of them. And however, most Mew are run the same way. They're run pretty much as a defensive Pokemon. That's just the way it is. So let's go ahead and take a look at their set. For a Mew, you're going to want to run 252 in HP, 252 in defense, or special defense. It doesn't matter. It all depends on what your team needs or what you want Mew to run. And you're going to want to run 4 in speed and a negative nature in attack. Synchronize is your only ability that you get a choice for. And for your item, you're going to want to run leftovers. Recovery every turn is going to help you out in the long run. Psyshock, of course, just for a move in case you get taunted or whatever. Recover is there just to keep getting yourself health, which is awesome. And Defog, if you really want to get rid of hazards, Defog is generally seen on Mew, which is great. Or Reflect. Reflect is there if you want to boost your team even further. And for the next move, you can either run Thunder Wave or Light Screen. Thunder Wave is there if you want another form of speed control and maybe don't want to run Sticky Web or don't want to run another Pokemon running Thunder Wave. Mew can definitely do it pretty well. And Light Screen is there also to go ahead and help reflect out, balance out your team a little bit more. And if you do want to run the screens, go ahead and run Light Clay. That boosts the duration of them too. So that is a definite possibility if you want to run that. But for the leftovers, just in general, if you want to run the basic set, which is Defog and Thunder Wave, go ahead and run leftovers. Light Clay is not necessarily going to help you in that scenario. But yeah, that is pretty much Mew. A Pokemon that excels defensively, kind of, and falls short offensively. And that's just the way it is, unfortunately. Maybe if its offensive stats were 120, I could see a definite boost in usage. But for right now, Mew is pretty much going to stay where it's at, and that is a decent defensive Pokemon, pretty much. So let's go ahead and take a look at our next Pokemon. Number 7 is going to be Mega Gardevoir. And Mega Gardevoir is kind of unique in the fact that it can run a lot of different things. Mega Gardevoir can run a defensive set or an offensive set, and it does it very, very well. Base 165 special attack is awesome. Absolutely fantastic. And a base 135, I believe, special defense helps it out in the long run too. So let's go ahead and take a look. Great base stats of 68, 85, 65, 165, 135, and 100. Now, you may be looking at the first 3 and say, wow, that kind of sucks, and it does. But what do you expect, really? It's a Psychic type Pokemon. Excuse me, it's a Psychic type Pokemon. Its defenses are not fantastic, especially its, really only its physical defense is nothing to write home about. And unfortunately, it does suffer from the low HP that a lot of other Psychic type Pokemon do suffer from too. Its ability is to be a potent attacker or defender. Went over that already. It has a lot of versatility to it, which is great. And Pixelate allows for powerful moves. Namely Hyper Voice, and that's the one everybody runs. It hits through Substitute, which is awesome. No Pokemon is going to be able to set up a sub in front of you, and you can pretty much hit them hard with a Pixelate boosted Hyper Voice. Fairy typing gives it good neutralities. It 4 times resists fighting. You can switch in on any fighting type move and pretty much be secure. And it really helps out in the long run, let me tell you. However, you are going to be weak to poison and steel. However, that psychic typing is pretty much going to threaten out any poison type Pokemon, really. and that's going to help you out definitely. It is great in doubles. I don't play doubles at all, but from what I understand, Gardevoir, Mega Gardevoir especially, I kind of tripped over my words there. Mega Gardevoir especially is good in doubles, thanks to Hyper Voice, hitting both Pokemon on the field at the same time, and it just is a good team supporter in general. It has awesome supportive moves, Reflect, Light Screen, Wish. It's a great Wish passer, which not a lot of Pokemon are capable of doing, and it helps out a lot. It has poor physical defense, as you saw. That base 65 is nothing to write home about. And unfortunately it suffers from a low HP. But let's go ahead and take a gander at its set. 252 in HP and 252 plus in special defense, and 4 in special attack, and a negative nature in attack. Pixelate is the only ability you get. Gardevoirite is going to be its item to Mega Evolve, obviously. Psyshock, Calm Mind or Protect, Hyper Voice, Wish, or Heal Bell. And Protect and Wish go along hand in hand, just to go ahead and help you and help your team out in the same way. And Hyper Voice is there just to go ahead and hit your opponent's heart. It's going to be your most powerful move, so definitely rely on Hyper Voice a little bit more than Psyshock. But again, it all depends on what the situation needs. Psyshock is there, hits pretty much poison types really hard, fighting types hard, and Hyper Voice hits a lot of other things hard too. So you are going to want to watch out for that. Heal Bell removes all status from your team. Could definitely be an option to consider. Heal Bell is awesome. Really helps get rid of burns, helps get rid of thunder waves, gets rid of toxic, any pesky thing that's going to hurt your Pokemon. Heal Bell will take care of it. So that is something to consider. You could honestly run Heal Bell over Calm Mind if you really wanted a Wish and Protect combination. So keep that in mind. But Calm Mind is there just to go ahead and help boost yourself up, get your special attack even higher. Granted, we have no investment in it, but after 1.5 boost, your special attack is going to be crazy. And it's just going to keep boosting your special defense to reduce the amount of damage you're going to be taking. And Psyshock, of course, another damage dealing move. Helps out if you're taunted, and is a good move in general. But let's go ahead and move on. Our next Pokemon is going to be Alakazam, and if you watch any of my videos, you'll notice that I really like Alakazam. He does his job very well. He really is the epitome of a Psychic-type Pokemon. He is very frail. He cannot take any hits whatsoever, but he can definitely dish out some damage with an awesome base 135 special attack and base 120 speed, so he is very fast and very powerful at the same time. He's something to watch out for, definitely. So let's go ahead and take a look at our regular Alakazam. He has a fantastic base 135 special attack and 120 speed. He has the ability Magic Guard, much like Reuniclus, and he can absorb status moves. However, you are going to watch out for the Thunder Wave. Thunder Wave is the only status that Alakazam does have to watch out for, as it cuts your speed and makes it so that sometimes you get fully paralyzed and cannot move. So that is the only downside, but you are going to have to watch out for Thunder Wave. Magic Guard, though, is still an awesome ability. Works very well with Life Orb. Alakazam has an awesome diverse move pool. He is able to go ahead and use a wide range and a wide variety of moves. It's absolutely insane. I've never seen two Alakazam the exact same. It's very funny. But it's just the way it is. Alakazam has an awesome move pool, and he's awesome at using it. He requires very little team support, and what that means is that Alakazam can just pretty much plop himself on a team. If the team needs a good special attacker, Alakazam's your guy, and he can just go ahead, sit down, and do his thing, and he does it very well. And he can fit on many teams easily. Like I just said, he's awesome, he's very good. However, he is a glass cannon, meaning he can deal out lots of damage, he just can't take any, which is the only problem with Alakazam. He has poor physical defense as an HP. Like I said, he is very frail. So yeah, that's pretty much Alakazam. Let's go ahead and take a look at his set. 252 in special attack and 252 plus in speed, just to go ahead and maximize your speed and your special attack. Make it so that you are an absolute tank. Well, not a tank, glass cannon, absolute glass cannon. 4 in HP and a negative nature in attack. Magic Guard is his hidden ability, and it's the ability you're going to want to roll with. It's very, very good. And Life Orb or Focus Sash. I used to run a lot of Focus Sash, but right now I'm kind of leaning towards Life Orb just because of the extra damage. You might even kill a Pokemon in one hit, whereas with a Focus Sash it might have taken you 2, and you're brought down to your Sash. So that's kind of the way it goes. It just depends on what you need. I feel Life Orb hits a lot harder, and Alakazam is definitely a Pokemon to go ahead and use it. Psyshock, common theme on this video. Dazzling Gleam, Energy Ball, and Shadow Ball are the rest of the moves. I've used this set over and over and over again in my video, and you'll notice how effective it is. Alakazam, absolute boss. He is awesome, and it's really, really good. And if you're looking for a very, very potent special attacker, Alakazam is your guy. He does it well, and he does his job right. And that just makes Alakazam a definite plus to the Psychic type. But let's go ahead and move on. Our next Pokemon is going to be number 5, Slowbro. A lot of people watching this video is wondering where Slowbro is going to fall, and he falls directly in the middle. I love and hate Slowbro. I love the fact that he can just stay in, absorb hits, and just recover back to full HP when he switches out. And I hate the fact that he can just stay in, absorb hits, and go ahead, switch out, and get back up to full HP. I hate that. He's very fun to use and very annoying to go up against. Slowbro is just an absolute wall, and that's what he's designed to be. So let's go ahead and take a look. Base defense of 110 is awesome. Pretty good. It's pretty good. Regenerate, excuse me, I can't talk at all. Regenerator allows for great survivability. The more times you switch out, the more HP you get, which is awesome. And the combination of Regenerator, Leftovers, and Slack Off gives insane HP recovery, which pretty much means that you're going to be very, very difficult to kill, pretty much. And the more you switch out and the more you stay in and the more Slack Offs you get off is awesome. I mean, any way you look at it, Slowbro is a defensive monster that just cannot be killed. It is awesome. Like I just said, hard to one-hit KO. And Slowbro is one of those Pokemon that can just keep staying in and keep reaping the benefits of insane HP recovery. And he's a great boosting Pokemon. If you've ever gone up against a Slowbro, you might have seen him use Calm Mind a few times. Calm Mind just means he's going to be even harder to kill. Namely, if you were going up against a Slowbro, you'd probably use a special attacker, and after a few Calm Minds, that might not be so viable anymore. Slowbro is just that type of Pokemon that can stay in and just give you a really, really difficult time. So you are going to have to watch out for that. However, it is common, which means it's extremely predictable. Most Slowbro are run the same way. And it is weak in its special defense, so you are going to have to watch out for that. Like I said, most people who are going up against a Slowbro are going to use special attackers, so if you can get maybe 1 or 2 Calm Minds up, less of an issue. But if not, you are going to have to watch out for Thunderballs, Energy Balls, Dark Pulses, whatever. Slowbro is vulnerable to that, so keep that in mind. But for his set, let's go ahead and take a look. 252 in HP and 252 plus in defense is going to help you out a lot in the long run. 4 in special defense and a negative nature in attack. Regenerator is of course the ability you want to use. It is his hidden ability, so if you are playing on cartridge, watch out for that. You're going to have to play around a little bit to go ahead and get that, but it is definitely worth it. Leftovers, of course, to keep your HP coming back up per turn. And Scald, you know, good attacking move, solid attacking move. If your opponent gets burned, you can pretty much forget any hopes of them hurting you anymore with their physical attacks. You're just going to be pretty well off. Scald, Calm Mind, like I said, it's a great boosting Pokemon, and the more you boost yourself up, just the harder it is to stop. Slack Off is there to keep your HP high, and that's great. Psyshock, another good stab move. Ice Beam, Gets yourself a little bit of coverage. Ice Beam's good. And Thunder Wave also is good. It's another form of speed control. Keeps your team faster than the opponent. And your opponent has a chance to not move, so that's also pretty good. Take your pick. All of them are great options, but this is pretty much how you're going to see Slowbro run. A lot of people are going to stick to this formula and stick to it just because it is a good formula. It's a very well run way to run Slowbro. Let's go ahead and move on though. Our next Pokemon is going to be Latios, and that is coming in at number 4. Latios is a very common Pokemon. I feel like if you watch people like Pokeaim or any other very competitive player, you'll notice that they use Latios a lot, and it really shows that they do. Just because Latios has the potential to be a huge team supporter and a potent attacker as well. So let's go ahead and take a look. Awesome stats of 80, 80, 90, 110, 130, and another 110. Which means you're basically going to see this Pokemon as a bulky, especially defensive attacker. Special attacker, that is, excuse me. It has a great it is a great specially defensive Pokemon, and it has a wide range of resistances thanks to that dragon typing, which pretty much means you're going to be able to switch into a lot of Pokemon. A lot of Pokemon are not going to be able to hit you too hard, especially with that wide range of resistances. And it is powerful enough to hit hard back. Latios is crazy, absolutely crazy. Draco Meteors all day, every day, and that is going to hurt your opponent. It is a great defogger. Latios and Latios both have access to defog, and it helps them out as a team supporter. Get rid of those hazards and get rid of incoming damage to your Pokemon when they switch in. It also just helps rebalance your teams, and it's just good in general. It has reliable recovery in Recover. Latios is able to keep itself healthy and just keep hitting hard in return. And it is, in general, a good boosting Pokemon. You can get up a few Calm Minds just like Slowbro and be even harder to destroy. And Latios has that way about it that it can just come in, maybe set up a few Calm Minds, and then destroy. Absolutely murder. So you are going to have to think a little bit further ahead if you're going to be running that route. So let's go ahead and take a look at his set. 252 in HP, 100 in special attack, and 156 in special defense. Now this is a little weird, but the reason behind this is just so you can hit a little bit harder with your special attack and still be able to take special attacks like crazy. Latios, thanks to its crazy amount of resistances, is able to go ahead and soak up more hits than usual. So that is going to be nice, and 100 EVs in special attack is going to help you out in the long run. So keep that in mind. You're going to want to run a negative nature in attack. Levitate is your only ability. Life Orb, of course, just to go ahead and boost your special attack even more, makes your attacks do crazy amounts of damage. And for your moves, you're going to want to run Draco Meteor, Psyshock, Recover, or Healing Wish, or Defog. Excuse me. Healing Wish is there to go ahead and boost your team. It, number one, brings them back up to full HP and eliminates their status. So if your, main attacking Pokemon is burned and low, you can pretty much, sacrifice your Latios, make it use Healing Wish, kill yourself in the process, but boost back your own Pokemon. So it has that great way about it that it can just support itself and its team, but you can pretty much decide between those two. Recover, keep yourself healthy, or Healing Wish to help your own team. All depends on what you want to run. If you want to keep Latios around, I'd probably recommend Recover, but if not, Healing Wish is a definite way to go ahead and help your team out. So do keep that in mind. Healing Wish also allows you to get free switches into things. Namely, anything that will allow you to go ahead and get in a lot of damage is probably a good option. So do keep that in mind. Defog, of course, get rid of hazards, and Draco Meteor and Psyshock, good stab attacking moves. Do watch out for Draco Meteor though, as it reduces your special attack each time you use it. But in general, Latios is a very, very good Pokemon. Very good Pokemon. So let's go ahead and move on. Our next Pokemon is going to be number 3, Mega Metagross. And right now, if you are playing OU, you might have noticed there's a lot of talk about Mega Metagross being banned. Personally, do I think it will be banned? Absolutely. Do I think it should be banned? Absolutely. Mega Metagross is a threat to pretty much everything that comes in. Mega Metagross has that certain ability about it to go ahead and destroy and take no damage at the same time thanks to its crazy amount of bulk. Mega Metagross is one of those few Pokemons that can destroy and take hits at the same time. So let's go ahead and take a look at Mega Metagross's just about it, you know. It is a great bulky physical attacker. Tough Claws gives it a boost to all contact moves, pretty much makes it so you're using Life Orb damage without any recoil. It's awesome. And you get awesome stats of 80, 145, 150, 105, 110, and 110. That awesome base 150 defense is going to help you out so much. I cannot stress that enough. 150 defense is going to mean you're going to take hits and be able to retaliate hard, and it just helps out. It really does. And it is fast enough to murder half the metagame, and that is the reason why it is being banned. Normally a Pokemon like this probably wouldn't be banned if its speed was like 90 or 80. But considering it's 110, that is a major threat. And unfortunately, Mega Metagross just hurts too many Pokemon right now. That's probably the reason why it's being banned. I'm not on their council, I don't know. But I just feel like Mega Metagross has the potential to be overpowered. And that's why it should be banned in my opinion. Goes along with that, it is very difficult to deal with. Most teams cannot counter Mega Metagross, especially if it's been in and it KOs one Pokemon. After that, it's just a freaking roll downhill. It is very difficult to stop, especially after it picks up momentum. Mega Metagross is one of those few Pokemon that it just will tear through teams with no trouble whatsoever. And if you're running a Meteor Mash, you could even get an attack boost and it's over. It is absolutely over. And it's just the way it goes. So let's go ahead and take a look at his set. 252 in attack and 252 plus in speed, 4 in defense, and a negative nature and special attack. Tough Claws, like I said, boost your power of your contact moves pretty much more than Life Orb, and you're not even taking any Life Orb damage, so that is fantastic. Metagrossite is going to be your item to make it Mega Evolve, Meteor Mash has a small chance to boost your attack by 1 stage. That is fantastic. However, what you'll notice is by Mega Metagross's stab, they are not very accurate. And I'll touch on that in a second. His second stab move is going to be Zen Headbutt. You know, pretty nice. Has a chance to flinch. All around good move in general. And Ice Punch is there. Go ahead and hit Gliscors and Landorus as hard. And you know what? Maybe if you can have Metagross before it Mega Evolves, switch in on a Landorus switch maybe. Your Clear Body will prevent any attack drop, and you can get off an Ice Punch with no trouble whatsoever. Really helps out, I feel like. Really does. Ice Punch is definitely the punch to go ahead and run. Helps out a lot. Now, for his last move slot, you can either run Earthquake or Hone Claws, and this is where things got a little interesting. Earthquake, there for coverage. It's there to go in and hit a lot of Pokemon hard. Earthquake is just, in general, one of the best moves in the game. However, if you want to run Hone Claws, that might be an excellent option as well, because it deals with that kind of low accuracy. Well, it's not low accuracy, but it's enough to make a difference. Hone Claws is going to prevent you from missing any Meteor Mashes or Zen Headbutts, and Meteor Mash and Zen Headbutt both have an accuracy of 90, and you are just going to have to watch out for that. But if you go ahead and set up one Hone Claws, you are going to be set. You're not going to miss a single attack, and you're going to be raising your attack at the same time. And that really helps out in the long run. Let me tell you, if you stay with Mega Metagross, set up a Hone Claws, you're going to be set. You're not going to have to worry about missing, and you might just get more attack boosts through Meteor Mash. Great stab move. In general, Mega Metagross is fantastic. It's a really good Mega. Unfortunately, they kind of messed up on his design, but that's just me. Let's go ahead and move on. Number 2 is going to be Mega Gallade. And Mega Gallade is a Pokemon I really enjoy. He is a Pokemon that just devastates. And I feel like he's going to stay in OU. I don't feel like he'll go any higher. or be banned, excuse me. But yeah, Mega Glade, probably one of my favorite megas in the game. He has just the capacity, excuse me, I can't talk. He has the capacity to do damage and just stay in and keep raking up that damage. He's not easily stopped, unfortunately. But let's go ahead and take a look at his just Mega Glade. Absolutely killer, 165 attack and 110 speed. This is a Pokemon that is a threat, 100%. You are going to have to watch out when going against Mega Glade. However, if you're using him, use this to your advantage. It is definitely worth it. He has enough bulk to survive a hit and destroy, absolutely destroy. And coming off that base 165 attack, you're going to have no problems doing that. He actually got a major boost to his defense. I believe it's 95 now in his Mega form. Prior to which it was only like 65, so that's a 30-point boost, which is awesome. And his special defense is actually pretty nice at 115 too, so that is going to be pretty great. And you're going to be able to take hits, number one, and then decimate if you don't go first, so do keep that in mind. He is very awesome though. He is an awesome boosting Pokemon as well. He is able to boost himself up and then destroy. And that tends to be a theme with these Pokemon up on the higher end of the tier. They can just boost themselves up and absolutely murder in return. He is difficult to switch into though. Like if you're going up against Mega Glade, you are going to have issues when trying to maybe save a Pokemon. You're going to have to switch in and maybe sacrifice a Pokemon just because of how powerful Mega Glade is. Most of the time they're going to be running close combat, and close combat is, you might as well just go home. Mega Glade, paralleling a close combat with 165 attack, it's going to be doing a lot of damage, let me tell you. And he's hard to stop, especially after a few boosts. Excuse me. He is very difficult to go ahead and counter and maybe bring something in to go ahead and slow it down at least. I mean, you are going to have some trouble doing that just because of how bulky it is and how crazily offensive it is. And it has many diverse stats, which is awesome. Excuse me, not stats, sets. It has many diverse sets. A lot of people run Mega Glade one way. I prefer to run it another way. A lot of people might run it a whole another way I've never even seen before. Mega Glade just has that potential to go ahead and be crazy, and that's what a lot of people like about it. It is hard to predict what type of set it's running, and that goes along with its diverse sets. It is, you generally cannot tell what set Mega Glade is running unless you've been in with it a few turns. It is very difficult. However, you can kind of look at the team and kind of judge, but really, if you're going up against it, you are having a very hard time trying to discern what type of Mega Glade it is. However, it can be worn down eventually, and Mega Glade is one of the few Megas on this list that have a hard time bringing its HP back up. However, there are ways around it, and I'm going to show you a way in the set that you can. So let's go ahead and take a look at that set. 252 in attack and 252 plus in speed. That is awesome. You are going to want as much attack and much speed as possible. However, I could see you maybe splitting up the attack, maybe 156 attack and 156 HP. Get that kind of medium, but you are going to want to run max speed. That is a definite. You do want to make your speed as fast as possible. And you're going to want to put 4 in HP if you're using this set. Negative and special attack will just boost your speed even further. Inner Focus is your ability of choice, your only ability, and Galadite is there to Mega Evolve it, obviously. Drain Punch, Bulk Up, Substitute, and Psycho Cut make up this set, and this is what makes the set shine. You can set up a substitute, set up a few Bulk Ups, and then maybe set up another substitute. Your opponent is going to have such a difficult time trying to break through that second substitute, it's crazy. Your opponent is going to have the worst of times trying to break through you. After a few bulk ups, you are going to be very difficult to go ahead and stop. And Drain Punch is there just to keep getting your HP back over time. The more Drain Punches you fire off, the higher your HP is going to be rising, let me tell you. And Psycho Cut is there for another stab type move that absolutely destroys after a few bulk ups. And your defense is going to be crazy. Even after one, your defense is going to be out of this world. and it's just going to be difficult to go ahead and counter. And if you watch some of my videos, if you've seen some of my videos where Mega Gallade was allowed in UU, you'll see that Mega Gallade just nothing can stand up to it, really. It's just so powerful, and this is the set that I used, and nothing, man, absolutely nothing was able to stop it after a few bulk ups. But yeah, that is Mega Gallade, probably one of my favorite megas from the new Oras Megas list. I mean, Mega Gallade just does it well, and a lot of other Pokemon should really look to Mega Gallade as an inspiration. I think Game Freak could kind of balance it a little bit more, make some of the Megas a little bit more powerful and some of them not, but they all have their definite respective niches, and that's what makes some of these Pokemon great. But for the number 1 slot, let's go ahead and take a look. It is going to be Latios, and Latios is a Pokemon I really like. He is awesome, and he just decimates in OU. And in Ubers too, from what I understand, but I do not play Ubers. But really, Latios is there. He is a definite presence, and he's very common for a reason. He is very bulky for an attacker. He's a bulky attacker, and he is capable of firing off insanely powerful moves, and the opponent's going to have a really difficult time trying to bring him down. So let's go ahead and take a look. It is a perfect combination of power and bulk. Great base 130 special attack and 110 speed. That comes in hand very nicely. You're going to be speed tying with a lot of other threats, and your base 130 special attack is going to allow you to hurt them harder than they can probably hurt you. It has a wide move pool, which is, you know, a trademark of legendaries and psychic types. And it is a good defogger too. It is just like its other Latios. Latios is capable of defogging away hazards as well, and that's an offensive defogger right there, and that really throws some opponents off, because maybe may think that the Latios you're running is maybe more bulky than it really is, and that could lead them to go ahead and make some wrong plays. So defog definitely is an option to go ahead and consider. It is difficult to switch into. Latios is a Pokemon that just fires off really powerful moves, and it's going to really stop a lot of threats, definitely. And its Dragon typing allows for some good resistances, and that's what makes this Pokemon key. You can switch into many Pokemon with Latios and then fire back crazy amounts of damage in response. Latios is there, and he's there for a reason. He is absolutely crazy. I love Latios with a passion, and when I used to play OU, sometimes I use Latios. He is just so crazy, and that explains why a lot of people use him. That perfect typing and that perfect ability to go ahead and destroy just makes Latios perfect in every way. And he requires very little team support. Latios fits on a lot of teams very easily. He's one of those few Pokemon that are able to just, you know, sit in, do his job, and support the team in any way that he can. So let's go ahead and take a look at his set. 252 in special attack and 252 plus in speed. Make your speed as fast as possible. 4 in HP and a negative nature in attack. Levitate is your only ability, and if you're wanting to run more general set, run Life Orb. However, if you want to maybe make your opponent think that you're maybe Choice Scarf or Choice Specs, maybe run Expert Belt. That way you can bluff. However, if you do want to run Specs or Scarf, that's definitely an option too. It all depends on what your team needs, and it all depends on how you want to run your Latios. However, Draco Meteor, that's pretty much the key move on this set, let me tell you. Draco Meteor is there to go ahead and help you out. It really is. And it really shows too. Just because of its crazy base power, and you're going to get stabbed from it too, which really is nice too. However, it is going to drop your special attack by 2 stages, so do watch out for that. Do make careful use when using Draco Meteor. Psyshock is there to go ahead and make it so that your special attacks are going to be doing physical damage, and is a good psychic type move in general. Recover, bring your health back up after all those Life Orb recoils. It's crazy. And Defog is there to go ahead and get rid of hazards. Or Thunderbolt. You can go ahead and use Thunderbolt if maybe you are running Expert Belt and maybe want to bluff a little bit more. but a Thunderbolt is there to go ahead and hit those bulky water types hard. And bulky water types are very, very common, so do keep that in mind. Thunderbolt is there just to go ahead and make sure that you can hit hard with some Pokemon that might be able to come in on Latios, so that is something to keep in mind. But yeah, that's pretty much Latios, and I love Latios. I love a lot of Pokemon on this list, I really do. And I cannot tell you how difficult it was to rank these after number 4. 4 and up was really, really difficult to rank. In fact, you can pretty much consider 4 and up pretty much all in the same tier just because of how good they are. But I definitely had to choose a winner, and that winner was definitely Latios. He is so, so good in the way that he is run. And if you're looking for opponent special attacker in OU, Latios is probably the way to go, man. And it really helps out. So let's go ahead and say thank you very much for watching this very long video. It means a lot to me. These videos take some time to put together, and just seeing all those views and all those likes really help out. All those 12 views, thank you guys. You do mean a lot, so I do appreciate it, and your support means everything to me. But thank you very much for watching. Follow me on Twitter at @hippadippin, and I will greatly appreciate it. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.